And we're live here in Marquette, Michigan. It's the Revved Up 906 podcast, a Detroit Pistons podcast to be exact. And I'm Hudson.
And I'm Ryan.
And, Ryan, the Pistons, we start every episode pretty much with a Detroit Pistons loss. We're used to it at this point as being long-term Pistons. But just a quick mention, last episode we talked about if Saddiq Bey is possibly on the trading block. Is he long-term with the Pistons? If you didn't watch that, go watch the last episode and then come back to this one. But I wanted to mention Saddiq Bey's stat line against a pretty solid Memphis Grizzlies team. He had 24 points, 7 assists, and 6 boards. Not bad.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, Saddiq Bey, he's streaky here and there, but guys, he's long-term. Mm-hmm. He's long-term.
Oh, yeah.
In today's episode 5, we're going to be talking about what does the absence of Cade Cunningham mean for our team?
Yeah, so my big questions.
Yeah.
What if him bulking up in the offseason actually had a negative effect on his body? Mm-hmm. Which I feel like it could actually be that.
It could.
And then who needs to step up when he's absent? Is it one guy or multiple? Mm-hmm. And what does it mean for Killian going forward? Yeah,
so the bulking up point is a good point. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've seen lanky, long guys that are just kind of skinnier make it in the NBA and have longevity. Guys like Kevin Durant, even Kevin Garnett bulked up a little bit at the end, but he was still a lanky guy for the most part of his career. And Kevin Durant, for the most part of his career, has been healthy.
Yeah.
And, so that is a good point to be made. He's carrying around more weight. When he's falling, he's a little bit more bulky. And when you're crashing through the lanes, you're not as slithery.
Yeah.
So that is a good point to be made. He's also a vegan.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
the injury that he's out with is left shin soreness.
Yeah.
So that would go back to my question of bulking up because that's more weight on your body, more weight on your legs, which is your shin area. But I don't think it necessarily has to do with that. It would be more of like being in contact with something else. Yeah.
It would be nice to see Cade break that down in an interview and just kind of see what his thoughts are on that.
Yeah.
I know people have asked him before about if he thinks being vegan helps his play, if he feels more energized, that sort of thing. I was vegetarian. I was a big football player in high school. So in the off season, I always went vegetarian so I could stay lean. And it was harder to bulk up. It was harder to put on muscle rather than fat. But, with a guy like Cade who goes hard every day, like an NBA player would physically, it's hard to know how much that affects him. You brought up Killian and getting minutes. I think we both know Killian. We talked about it on our Instagram that he has stepped it up. Do you think that's because Cade, with the absence of Cade?
I think he's in the mindset of being extremely confident in his play.
Yeah.
Because once he has one good game, you can tell he's getting better and better and better as time goes on. And if that's the case and you bolster his confidence, that's going to help him a lot. I think Cade being out is help guiding the way to him being more confident because he's playing more.
Yeah.
But I think it has to do with more of coaching than anything because the coaches believe in him and he can tell.
I think so. I think Troy and Casey really have put their soul into Killian, and I think it's proving on the court. In the last 4 games, his averages are 16.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, and nearly 8 assists per game, 2 steals, and then shooting 52%. And the 2 last most notable opponents he's played against is Luka Doncic and Ja Morant. He's finally hit a shooting groove with the back-to-back 3-pointers to close out the Mavericks the other night. And the mid-range shot is finally falling. He blocked Ja Morant twice the other night against the Grizzlies. Granted, they did lose, but he's showing with extended minutes, he can keep up with the NBA's elite.
Yeah, he's showing flashes of why Weaver drafted him where we drafted him.
Yeah.
And that's a very key thing to look at, because if he doesn't have these flashes right now, a lot of people would be like, why did we pick him where we picked him? And a lot of people would be questioning the whole Weaver drafting players and everything, especially with how Sadiq's been playing too.
Yeah, and a guy like Ja Morant probably is the most difficult guy to guard. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's quick. His first step is so quick. He's got the passing ability. Yeah. He's going to dunk on you, and then, he has his times where he hits those threes like a madman. He keeps the pressure on, and Killian, the first quarter of the Grizzlies game, he did kind of struggle here and there, but he picked it up those last 3 quarters and showed that he can keep up.
Yeah, and going back to Cade a little bit here, he's only played in 12 games. That's not good.
Yeah.
In just 12 games, he's averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, a block, and 3 turnovers.
Dude.
That's not good. I mean, that'd be great for, like, Kevin Knox, but for Cade, that's terrible. And at home in 6 games, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists,
that's
steal,
pretty good.
A block, but 4 turnovers.
Yeah, he's struggled with turnovers.
But away games, it's even worse. It's 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
And his shooting is atrocious.
Yeah, and I expect that out of a guy like Reggie Jackson or one of the
key, like, veteran role players. You'd expect that stat line.
Yeah.
Not first round pick, first overall, Cade Cunningham, who's supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I wanted to bring up with Cade being gone is he did prove last season that he's a really good guy at closing games. Last year, Cade was able to close out games offensively on several occasions on the home stretch of wins. Historically, the Pistons are, much like the Detroit Lions, are not the best fourth quarter team. And the fan base loved Cade instantly because we saw him early on last season kind of put up big numbers in the fourth quarter. And what do you not love about that? Cade had the team's best last year with 250 fourth quarter points. Yeah. For example, losing to the Grizzlies the other night by 10. They showed going down early in the first quarter that we can make a comeback, but then in the fourth quarter hits and they need firepower. And with Cade out, the cold streaks in the fourth quarter are going to continue. And Killian's not like Cade, where he can go on runs, where he has multiple possessions where he's getting buckets. Cade can do that. That's why I'm waiting for a game from Killian where he gets Cade Cunningham hot, where he just gets buckets on buckets. Killian is a guy that's going to break your offense down throughout the game and rack up numbers each and every quarter. He's going to etch up the stat line.
Yeah, Killian's definitely more of an all-around guy, whereas Cade is just he's a scorer. Not saying that he can't do what Killian can do and break down defenses and everything, but Cade is known for being a scorer. Killian is known for being an offensive guru, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yep, like a Goran Dragic. He a great passer, and then can come in and he can lock down guys for sure. And it is nice to see guys like Marvin Bagley get some more touches. Cade's a good distributor, but he does have the ball a lot. Yeah. So
he's very ball dominant.
Yeah. So when Cade's gone and the ball isn't in his hands, it forces other guys to step up. And it's cool to see guys like Bagley because he has played well. He's not jumping off the stat line by any means, but he's showing that, well, one, he can last without getting an injury for more than a month, nearly a month now. Hopefully I don't jinx him there.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, Bagley, I'm sorry. If you get hurt tonight against the Heat, I am sorry.
So the timeline on Cade for his return, or if he does return, is, well, he's out indefinitely right now.
Yeah.
It's left shin soreness. And Dwayne Casey has come out and said that it's up to the medical group whether Cade decides, and it's the medical group and Cade if he decides to get surgery or not.
Yeah.
And Casey said, I'm all for it. Whatever he decides to do, I'm 100% behind him.
Yeah, it hurts because you want to see it get better right now.
Mm-hmm.
But also if we're thinking, he is only a sophomore, second year man, and you have to think long term. It's hard to do that because you want instant gratification of winning. But it seems like if we want to have Cade for longevity, that, he should probably get the surgery.
Not only that, but think about it. If we keep losing, we potentially have the first pick overall. We could get Wemby, but a lot of teams want him too. So they would trade for him.
Yeah, so we might get a big piece or something. A really good old, maybe like a Kawhi Leonard or something.
We'd get a good solid player and a lot of draft picks in return for a first round pick that we could get Wemby with. I wouldn't mind him at all in our offense, but if we get a lot for very little, I mean, it would just bolster this team and help us in the long term.
I just thought of this while you were talking. I just want to lay it out there and just see what your thoughts are, because I know you have big takes on trades. Okay, so Cade is out for the rest of the season. He gets his surgery. He's gone. We tank. We're the bottom of the East, maybe bottom overall of the NBA, bottom 2. We get the first pick in the lottery. It's draft night. We're heading into the program starts. We're watching all the guys talk. And then all of a sudden at the bottom of the screen, number 1 overall pick for Anthony Davis and whatever first round pick the Lakers have. Are you mad? Or are you like, okay, I see you. What are you thinking?
I feel like it would be the Blake Griffin trade all over again.
Okay. That is a good point.
It wouldn't be smart. Anthony Davis is getting up there in age. He gets injured a lot.
Yeah.
And this year, people are hyping him up because he's dropping like 40 a night. And what people are failing to recognize is the Lakers suck and they are not a playoff team. They're not even going to be coming close to winning the championship this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, people.
Isn't your uncle a Lakers fan?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not listening.
Well, he hasn't been watching recently.
Okay.
The Lakers suck. That's why.
Yeah.
But they're not going to come close. Yes, LeBron has carried scrubs to win championships.
He has.
No offense to. Okay, when I say that, I'm not talking about the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
they weren't scrubs.
No,
but every Cleveland Cavaliers team he's been a part of, they've been scrubs.
Yeah, especially before when he made it to the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals like 2 years in a row when he was like a third, fourth year man, which is just wild.
Yeah, but no, I don't want Anthony Davis. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah. It's just something that popped in my head, and I was like, I wonder, like, because we were thinking veterans, solid veterans, and I was like, it just kind of, but yeah, I mean, with Victor Wembanyama, with how much potential he has, and it'd be hard to get rid of that, right?
He's literally 7'4" and can play like Kevin Durant.
I know.
Like, who doesn't want that?
I know.
Like, everybody wants KD.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back. Not everybody, because that would mean you'd have to shake up your entire roster to get him.
That's true.
So a lot of moves. But no, everybody does like KD.
Yeah.
I'd want him.
Yeah. Kind of getting back to, with Cade being out and, Ivy has been playing well. I like his play. I think he is getting more ball time rather than if Cade was in. But, Ivy, he's kind of like Cade in the way that he gets a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, he does.
I'm wondering, I know he's still a rookie. How many games in are we to the season? Like 25?
Somewhere
around there. Like,
yeah.
I know we're still early in the season, but it does worry me seeing Ivy, get that many turnovers. I think at the beginning of the season, I thought we were going to be a winning team. I thought maybe we would get some dubs. I was just like, oh, throwing Ivy in the mix, dude. Yeah, we're going to be like 6th, 7th, 8th
Yeah,
in the East.
that was me after the Bojan trade.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, you don't make that move unless you think you're a playoff team.
Yeah.
But now looking back at that, we're not a playoff team. But we could. No, we can't turn it.
We can eventually.
We
this
can,
season,
not this season, but next year, yeah.
Right now, it's all about building chemistry and figuring out who's going to be the main core. I think we're going to figure out if Sadiq's part of the main core, if Stu's part of the main core. I think Killian's proving he is. We're going to see if Marvin Bagley is long term. We're going to see some of these buffer guys that like
Kevin Knox as an example.
Yeah, and Hamidou Diallo. We're going to see if these guys are part of that top of the East team. I think that's this season to figure that out.
With Hami there, and Kevin in the same ballpark, I could see them kind of being like a Frank Jackson situation for us. Because we could have brought back Frank. He actually did very good for us when we needed him to. But stat line, it's not crazy. He's up there in age-ish. He's like 26, 27.
Yeah.
I could see Weaver going and pulling the plug on Hami and Kevin Knox there like he did with Frank.
Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, they were okay. Nothing special. I can't really get a ton of value for them, but I'll let them walk kind of thing. I can see that.
Yeah, and it is nice. You know, I wish Cade was playing right now. I really do. But it is nice to see these buffer guys get minutes and see who sinks, who swims.
Yeah.
And Killian is swimming, and some guys are just kind of falling away. Guys like Hamidou, who he's just not doing much. He's not playing bad, but he's just not doing much.
No, this year it's a very big down year for him.
Yeah, like he's just kind of been quiet. He started the season not getting many minutes, and then he started getting minutes, and then it just started kind of going downhill.
That leads me to think that he's getting traded.
I mean, I could see it happening. You know, I could see us just trading role players or something like that.
I could see Diallo getting traded away for like a second round pick and like a talent level of like Ish Smith or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe like an older vet, you know, just trying to get vets in to work with some of our younger guys.
Yep, get some 1 year minimum contracts, and just so it's like we could easily let them walk and still keep a second round pick and get the value back somehow.
Yeah. And maybe get a little bit more cap space, something like that. But yeah, I mean, we can't stress enough, like, right now where Cade's at, a sophomore year, the second year for an NBA player is so crucial. You need to stay healthy during that season because a rookie year, a lot can happen. You can play pretty terrible, but then you see a guy like Killian who makes a world of difference in his second and third season. That's why it's like Cade's got to prove he can stay healthy because it's like this second year is just such a big year to prove, hey, I was good my rookie year. I should have been rookie of the year.
Yep.
But I was snubbed, and I'm going to be that much better my sophomore year and show all of you you're wrong. Show the NBA you're wrong.
Yeah.
Show that you are the baby Luka, that you are going to be this triple-double machine. And instead, weak shins, and we're looking at a possible surgery with only 12 games played.
Yeah, I can see this situation. I view it as what happened with Killian. Killian, rookie year, gets injured, doesn't really play the whole season. Cade shows up the year later, goes off, with Killian kind of rehabbing still. So Killian wasn't really present, but he was.
Yeah.
And so I can see this situation with Cade as in he goes off his rookie year, gets injured this year, out for the season, but then year 3,
Kicks it into gear.
Yeah, he comes back even better because he gets all that time in to rehab and to better understand his body and what he needs to do to stay healthy. But then he's still a veteran. Well, he's not a veteran, but he has more experience by that point.
Yeah.
And so that could be like a big turning point for us in the sense of recruiting wise.
Yeah.
Like he has a lot of connections already.
Yep.
A lot of players like him.
A lot. KD speaks highly of him on his podcast almost every week.
Yeah, and I doubt Brooklyn's going to win a championship by then. So like, it's just an example, but if Cade can be a great recruiter and come back off
Which I
this
think he
injury
is.
and be explosive like normal, with Killian playing like he is, Sadiq stepping up again and again and again, and then Bojan by that time still being one of the most efficient shooters in the league.
Yep.
I think we could be seeing something there.
Yeah. And I know we do have a lot of cap space. I'm pretty sure heading into this offseason, Cade, we saw last offseason working with Kyrie Irving. He's good friends with Kevin Durant. He's part of the friend groups of the NBA elite, which is very good for the Pistons. And that's why not even just his ability on the court was a smart move, but his connections in the NBA community, it was smart on the Pistons' behalf, because we haven't really had that since probably Grant Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, Andre knew some guys here and there from being on Team USA and stuff, but obviously he wasn't able to get much done. Where now we got so much potential. Now hopefully Cade can go to summer league and be whispering on the sidelines to some guys.
And let's say we do get Wemby, and Cade becomes and is a great recruiter.
Yeah,
who wouldn't want to play with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Wemby, Jalen Duren, Sadiq Bey,
even Bojan? He's a great guy to play with.
Yeah, who wouldn't be wanting to play with this young, very talented team?
Yeah,
and a good coach like Casey, or even by then, an even better coach.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that? Granted, Detroit is cold.
Yeah.
But
hey, we were just in Detroit a couple of weeks ago. I love the atmosphere downtown Detroit. I just love it. I don't know what it is. It feels like that grit. I just love it. If I was a NBA player, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. But not a lot of guys like small market teams. They want to be in the lights.
Yeah. And I get that too, of course. To close out this episode, I want to just stress a little bit on how much we're missing out on this sophomore year of Cade Cunningham. I just kind of want to talk about and remind people how good this dude is. With 7 games remaining last season, Cade totaled 1,012 points, pulled down 338 rebounds, and doled out 328 assists. The only other players to record at least 1,000 points, 320 rebounds, and 320 assists through 59 games are LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Luka Doncic, Alvin Adams, who I have no idea who that is. I think he was a Bucks player in the 50s, and then Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
So those are some big names. I know. But we want Cade to get healthy. We want you to get back and put that jersey back on.
Yeah.
Roll up them shorts, put those socks on, lace up your shoes, and go and get buckets. And start that legacy of guys like Magic Johnson and so on and so forth.
Yeah, be the next Detroit legend.
Dude, that's what I want so bad. Come on, Cade.
We want your name in the rafters.
Yes, we do. We do. And as soon as we make it big, we want you on the pod. Is that one of our goals? Maybe get Cade Cunningham as a guest? Dude, that would be so sick.
It would be.
I saw Jaden Ivey did a podcast a couple weeks back with not even a huge podcast. Dude, that would be cool.
It would be.
That would be awesome.
So we might have to wear Purdue if we make a bet with him.
That's true, and I'm not doing that, man. Well, that's going to wrap up episode 5 for Revved Up. Was that big time? I got to ask.
Yeah, it was a big time.
Yeah, Cade's big time.
Yeah.
Just not his injury. That's small time.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram at Revved.up906. We're posting all kinds of clips and snippets and rumor mill stuff on there. Go follow us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.